Till you're satisfied, whatever it is, do it. All right, welcome to the Marriage Boss podcast. And this young lady, many of you know already, because she is a mainstay in our audience on the blog, but she's also done a podcast with us before. Henrietta Bryant is a celebrated actress and a writing muse, as you all know now. And she's got some good stuff going on, so that's why we're having her back on the show today. And I wrote some notes, so I want to just at least cover all of these.
At least get a word in
edgeways. It's like a what's coming next show for her. But I want to celebrate her journey as a woman, as a wife, partner, as a mother, and then her decision to share her story, become vulnerable and open, and to guide others on a similar path, to embrace our true purpose and triumph no matter what is going on at the moment. And she is a champion for choosing love over fear. Henrietta, welcome to the show again.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you. It's very exciting.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, you want to ask me a question, or should I just like leap right in there?
No, and just jump right in. You already heard the introduction. You know why we're listening and watching.
Okay. Well, this is it. This was the funny thing. Last time when we spoke, I had all these grand ideas of how I was going to do. Do you know what? I can't even remember them. But the fact is, they were a springboard for even better ideas, and they took me on another journey where I didn't expect to go to. So we started off whereby I was writing the blog for you, and I remember at that time you used to say to me on a consistent basis, "This is so like A Course in Miracles. It's so like," and I was like, "Oh my God, wow, that must be really important." I mean, I had the book 10 years prior. I hadn't really read it, and then I kind of dried up and couldn't really write much more. So I thought, okay, I will. First off, sorry, I started to obviously record the blog, turning into a vlog.
Yep.
And then I did the Course in Miracles lessons. And suddenly, and that's only very recently now, well, now I'm on sort of lesson 67, because I haven't been doing one a day, although I should, but
nobody knows.
Resistance. And basically, I've had some breakthroughs whereby it's just become very, very clear that my function is obviously to be happy. I mean, that is what, that's why we're here. That's why the universe gives us this gift of life and form, so we can love ourselves and the world and everything in it, to be a shining beacon of loving energies to all. And prior to this realization, I started to think that, me being an actress is all ego. And I started to kind of think it wasn't a good idea. So I started to kind of push it away and say, no, I'm a healer. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I think that might be the reason why my writing dried up a bit. So I got to thinking, and acting is absolutely my first love, because obviously our function and happiness is one. And that's what makes me happy. So I'm pursuing that 100%. With regards to my journey with addiction, I started this. I originally started this blog because I really wanted to find a way to confront the issues of addiction, and not just drug addiction, but sex addiction, food addiction. All of these things. I mean, there's a whole manner of things, and I started to really, really sort of get really focused on this idea. And through doing A Course in Miracles, it just became so apparent that through using this ideology of Course in Miracles alongside the universal laws, alongside quantum mechanics, quantum creativity, all of these really exciting things that have also now been proven by scientists. So, we can actually have a basis to say, hey, this really is something for all those naysayers, that are blocked by that. And so I got really lost. I really lost my train of thought then, because I got into the naysayers of people that don't believe in things.
That's how it happens.
Rewind.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let me just rewind. So, so that's it. I'm finally putting myself out there and saying, you know what? Okay, no more fear. Okay. I'm not going to beat around the bush anymore, like ABCs and all of that. That was good, to get people understanding about the very basics of spiritual principles and universal law and all of that kind of thing. And it also reminded me. And so now I'm at the point where so I'm going to do something. I'm doing it now, something that I've always wanted to do, which is to heal myself of addiction. When I say addiction, I mean I don't want to dream about it. I don't want to count days of being clean. I don't want to sit in meetings. I don't want my whole life revolving around not using, because to me that's exactly the same as having your life revolving around using. Yeah. To me, there is no difference. Yep. You are simply substituting. And the problem with that is, guess what? The drugs aren't the problem. The drugs are the effect. It is not the cause. If it was the cause, we'd have no problem. We stop the drugs. Hey, we're all golden, right?
Yep, yep.
But it's not. It's the effect. So we have to deal with the cause. So as soon as I started to say, you know what? I'm going to not focus on this anymore. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not an addict. This is irrelevant now. The moment I decided this, the dreams went, the cravings went, the conflict, the split mind. It all disappeared, and it was like, yeah, this is the way. And then I read in a couple of books. It was almost like the universe was confirming what I had just discovered. I read in about 3 different books. Unfortunately, or fortunately for me, only 1 page dedicated to this phenomenon, which was that anyone that has had any addiction problems the only success stories really in real terms are the ones that are spontaneous, because they don't even try and stop. They don't try to quit. They just don't do it anymore. It's gone. They don't substitute. They're not scared of the space.
Do you think that there was did something happen to these people to bring on that spontaneous stoppage?
No, that was the whole point. They weren't, perhaps what it was, maybe it was they were handpicked. Maybe that was their mission, to be these people that can then teach us. So then someone like me perhaps can take it further, or someone else. I don't know, but no.
Well, I know of situations where there was a life-changing event. Still no steps. In my own case, I read a letter from my high school biology teacher.
Yeah.
And that, there's a very well-known piece written, and my interview with Genevieve on that talks about my own experience when I read that letter.
Yeah.
There was a line in the sand at that moment, and my life changed completely. Now, I don't know, it may be safer to say my life went back to what it was before I had ever started on this road. And, I think that for people out there who are watching and listening today, what we want to do is say there's a lot of different ways down this road. There's a lot of different paths. Each one of us has a unique path. And so
there's no right way or wrong way.
I want to go back to what I saw in you when we met, and why I thought your particular vibration resonated with me so much.
Yeah, I always wondered that too.
I just saw your gifts immediately, and so nothing you've done or said has surprised me in this journey, because I saw that Henrietta the whole time.
Yeah, and at that point, I just say to anyone that's listening, I was like literally suicidal. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to go to bed. I didn't want to go out the house. I didn't want to get dressed. I just couldn't be bothered. Life was just shit. And I was literally just waiting to die. It was just, I wasn't even like sobbing. I'd gone past that.
You were numb.
I was just numb. It was just,
and
even the
funny.
drugs, it didn't work.
It didn't take more than one second of your messaging to me for me to see your light, and I've never seen anything other than that in you. So even the days when we talk and you're broken or you're down, I still only see that light. And then it doesn't take more than a minute when we talk or connect or message, or you're right back shining. And so
that's true.
I think that it's safe to say that nourishing people and uplifting circumstances can play a big part in this alternative path. And like we said, there's no one way, but there are ways. And so if you're listening and watching today and you're wondering, how can I change this part of my life? How can I stop doing something I don't want to do? How can I start doing something I want to do? It does definitely help when you see examples like this of people who were down and then they can come right back up.
That's right.
It's not about time.
No, absolutely not. There is no time. There is no time, only space. Let's just negate time for now. The fact is, if we just go back to what you were saying about you always saw this light, and it's beautiful because when I speak to you, I see the light in you. You are seeing the light in me. It's like an exchange. It's reciprocal. And as soon as you start to see the light within others, you're shining, and they are recognizing the light in you. And that is when, that is the gift of healing. I think. I mean,
well, what we're hoping here is that the light that you are seeing in me is the reflection of you. So I can't be light unless you're shining it on me.
That's correct. Yeah, what you're saying is we're a reflection of what we see in another person is a reflection of us.
I remember telling you that I'm only a mirror for you all the time when we first met.
And I had heard that very, very often reading these kind of books, but it really didn't mean much to me, until that time when it was very positive. And then at that time I was also going through a negative period with somebody, and I realized, hang on a second, this is not her problem. This is my problem. She is actually showing me something, not knowing that the universe is giving me a message through her to say, hey, you got to deal with this. This is your problem. The only reason you are seeing this within her is because it's you. Otherwise, you wouldn't notice it.
Yeah, and having had conversations with you and Bear, and having had relationship conversations, the same holds true. When we think that our partner is doing something to us, it's got nothing to do with them. It's us. We have to look in the mirror and say, what can I do to bring love into this moment and that holy instant? And with the children, every time the boys are on, they bring joy, they bring light, you light up. So all these gifts.
It's funny because, in another setting I would be, and I'm ashamed to say it, sometimes it's really hard to be, a parent with two boys, and sometimes I just want to be alone, and I don't want to be bothered, and I feel.
And you're talking to all the moms out there who are experiencing the same thing.
It's hard. Only the Simpsons tell you how shit it can be,
It's always easy to see the gifts in someone else's child, which when I see the boys, I just see these two cherubs.
What I meant was when they come in on that, I actually see their light as well. I love it. Because I know that everyone else is.
How many times have I reminded you that they're responding to my energy? And so because I'm looking at them like that, they are giving me that gift.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's an amazing thing.
It's almost like stepping out of being their mother can be a way of appreciating them more and saying, look at these two little beautiful boys.
I know. See, I feel this like guilt constantly. I think every parent, I don't think it's just the mother that feels this. It's just this constant guilt. Oh, I should be doing more. Oh, I was being selfish. Well,
we're people. We're just a little bit older than they are. We're still kids.
Yeah. Well, I read in that
changed.
book that you recommended the present process awareness, which was amazing. They talk about the imprinting of from your parents. So I've become really aware of that, and almost becoming very easy to forgive my mother now, because she was simply an innocent child thrown into a conditional world, wanting unconditional love, not receiving it, ending up the way she is, passing it on to me, and hopefully now I'm aware of this.
Even if you learn one day sooner, it's still progress.
Yeah.
And your kids will learn from your example. So let's talk a little bit about what you have planned and what you want to do to bring your gifts to the world and help other people who are looking for answers and peace and some quiet time and some way to repair their broken selves.
Okay. Firstly, I just want to reiterate one thing that we were talking about earlier before we started recording. I come across as a great teacher with all of the tools and so wise and everything. But trust me, I live a very chaotic, dysfunctional life, and I have a lot of struggle and a lot of conflict. And I'm always saying it's not about whether you're using or not using. It's the conflict, because remember, the drugs are not the cause, they are simply the effect. So if it's not drugs, then I'm doing something else that's not helpful. Like I'm fighting in my relationship, or I'm having financial issues.
Struggling at work, in the community, anything.
Exactly. So
having problems with the neighbors.
Exactly. So it's just being directed elsewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. And sometimes I think it's easier I can't even say it. Then I should be slapped on the wrist for saying, "Oh no, she's saying it's better to take drugs and argue with your neighbors." But you know what I mean? It's like, it's difficult. So what I am doing is I've actually now I'm compiling the stuff that I wrote for you for your blog, and also the idea of the journal, and I'm sort of putting it all together in one. However, what I'm going to be doing, through a new website. I'm going to be, I can't even believe I'm saying this. I'm going to be actually, you're going to work alongside with me. I'm calling everybody to come to, the book is free. You can download the books. It's no problem. Okay, it's all free. And we do it together, and we support one another. So you've still got that that kind of fellowship that the 12 Steps offers, which I think is brilliant. That is brilliant, that part. The support is wonderful. It was just the other parts of it sometimes don't resonate with people. And maybe my way won't resonate, but it might give them an idea to take it in another direction. So what I want to do is start off with, you download the book, we do it together. You can come in and out as you please. Be like a community, and it's literally like a live experiment. And what I want to do is I want to take these ideas from books that have already been written. Okay, like for example, you've got The Secret, you've got things about cosmic ordering, you've got things about manifestation, visualization, you've got it all. I'm going to take the best aspects of each of them. We're going to do it. We're going to do it together, because I am hopeless at self-motivation. So I need some people to kind of help me as well.
Yeah,
so
we love a party.
We're going to, exactly. We're going to help each other be the best that we possibly can. And, I need somebody to kind of give me a kick up the arse to get me to do it. And this is the only way, because if I put myself out there, even if it's just one person that's relying on me, I have to do it, right?
You've been great. Your community has appreciated you. I've watched it grow. I've seen the relationships you've built, and I've been so proud to be a small part of that. And I'm looking forward to seeing how you do this. Now, is this going to be some kind of like a group setting? Are you going to have a Facebook group? Where are these people going to gather?
Definitely
Okay.
Facebook. I've already started to tentatively put it together. And I want to, once I've completely finished doing the books, which you just literally, they don't even need to be published. I'm just going to print it on out, and it's yours, it's free. I don't, I'm not interested in the monetary situation. Oh, my dog is eating a shoe. So that will be like a guideline, And if you choose to do it by yourself, that's fine. If you want it, and then it's a community, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not me saying, hey, you do this, you do that, because I don't have the answers. But with the community setting of everybody in the same boat, for all those, you know, people that didn't quite fit the box of other treatments and really feel like, shit, now I'm really fucked. I mean, what now? Well, then you come to me, come to Mama Hen, and hopefully we can all help each other.
Well, I wanted to say that you do have a lot of answers, and you do have a way about you which is very welcoming, very soothing, very warm, very open and vulnerable. And I think that is one of the most attractive things in a teacher and a healer. And I appreciate your truth. And I've watched you live in it, and you don't run away from it, which a lot of people do. And so it's a beautiful thing to watch you unfold and to see. I think that you are the most truthful, honest, open person that I know.
That's a lovely thing to say. Unfortunately, it doesn't win me many friends. I have to be honest with you.
Well,
People
you know
don't.
What? We're not in this. We're not in this for that reason.
No, quite. No, absolutely.
We're in this because what we know the purpose is to be in our truth and to find our true voice. And you have done an amazing job of that, and you have never turned your back on it or run away from it. As a matter of fact, you run into it, and that's what I love about you. I love watching you run toward life, not away from it.
Thank you so much. That's really, really nice.
You're welcome. And I still have that arch in the going into the kitchen around you. So you still have that shrine look about you. So, you're still so saintly.
Henrietta.
No matter what, you're still saintly in my book. You're right in that.
It's quite weird because I don't actually do that intentionally, really.
Well, for this show, we have to have you in that holy
we'll
space.
put the lights on as well so it can glow around my head.
You're in a holy space. Yeah. So where can people find you now before this whole thing is built, so they can, if they want to start getting connected, so that when this thing blows up, you can really,
okay, well,
they know where to find you.
My YouTube channel has got, like, my God, so many videos, because I'm still doing A Course in Miracles and la-di-da-di-da.
Okay.
So obviously YouTube, my name is Henrietta Bryant. You probably have my YouTube stuff on yours.
I do. Yeah, and we'll put the links in the show notes again.
Okay, and I still do have my Facebook, which is, what is it?
Well, you have the personal one.
I have my personal one, Henrietta Bryant.
And then you have I
do also have my other one, which is, I'm started with this one wanting to do what I'm doing now, but I clearly wasn't ready. So I'm going to keep that. Hopefully I'm going to try and amalgamate the pages. I don't really know how to do that. I'm not techie. But
you'll get Facebook to help you.
Yeah. Okay. So that one's called something about seeking an alternative exit strategy from the rabbit hole. What is it? I can't remember.
Down the rabbit hole?
No, it's not down the rabbit hole. It's what is it? What's the name of my page?
It starts with the word one. One
step beyond.
One step beyond.
One step beyond, of course. One step beyond an alternative exit to the rabbit hole. Right. That's right. I started off, one step beyond 12, and then I thought.
But if they look you up, they can find you anyway.
Oh, of course, Henrietta Bryant. Yeah, absolutely. And now you know what I look like. I'm everywhere on image search.
Well, this was fun. I'm glad you got to, go to the next step with us.
Yeah,
and, I love you and adore you and appreciate you.
I love you so much. Thank you. And I appreciate you. And I just can't wait for you to come over to Amsterdam. And I'm still looking for my invite to New York.
New York. Yeah. All right. Good night, sweetie.
Thank you so much. And bye-bye, everybody.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. That's good.
I had no clue what I was going to say, but you know what? Sometimes it's okay to just draw a blank. As long as you get scared about it.
You are always on. If there's a camera and a microphone, you're natural.
I know, it's my thing. It's what I'm born to do. And,
that's it. I want to see you do more of that too.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like I was saying, I started to believe that was ego because of the fame, the fortune, the adoration, which I do crave. Of course I do.
Hey, why not?
It feeds me.
Why
It
not?
feeds me.
Yeah. Why not?
And I kept on thinking that was wrong because it was ego mind, because I got all into this thing. And you know what? I realized within this function thing where it was saying about happiness and function of one, and I was like, fuck me, my function is acting, because there is nothing that makes me happier. Nothing. There's nothing that makes me happier, because I wake up in the mornings. Don't get me wrong, I love my children more than acting, but acting makes me happier because when I wake up and I'm going to be acting, I jump out of bed and
So what do you have going on? You have anything new coming up?
Yes, I do. I got a job, and it's initially unpaid, and I don't give a damn about that. It's going to be online. It's a web series.
You told me about that.
Yeah.
When is that starting?
No, not yet. What happened? There was a death in the family from the director, so they are doing the promotions on the 11th of December. So I'll send you all the pictures, all the promotional stuff, and then you can follow it when it comes.
Oh, that's awesome.
But that's going to be awesome. It only takes one person to see one thing, which is like what they're looking for. And I've always known that this is my destiny. This is what I'm supposed to do, because when I'm on stage, I haven't done enough of film to see if it's the same, but I'm assuming it would be. I feel like what I'm doing is real. I feel like I'm actually there, which means I'm completely in the moment.
Yep.
And it's like magic. It's
living. It's
what makes me shine, and I think that's why I get so shunned by the acting community here, because they're kind of like not so much amateur, but sort of on the cusp of moving to professional. But
well, do you ever get out to, talk to people about roles elsewhere?
Out of Amsterdam?
Yeah.
Well.
And then it wouldn't be, you wouldn't be stuck with that,
thing is,
small community.
Holland is probably the size of your garden.
Wow.
I mean, darling, how big is Holland? Literally the whole of Holland, not just Amsterdam. Like mile to mile, end to end. I mean, you can drive it in a day,
right? It's like a state, one of our states.
Oh, it's not like a state. Are you kidding me? It's like a hundredth of a state.
Really?
It's tiny. It's so tiny. It's a tiny country.
So then, can you go and act in a different country?
I don't want to. I'm waiting to. No, why should I? I've someone here, and they are from Amsterdam, and they know me. They're because it's a very small clique.
I'll bet.
Ones that are more successful seem to be very drawn to me. The ones that are not so much, but do a lot of stuff, hate me. And all I've ever done is be really great, very supportive, very in the background, because I don't want to, I don't want to overpower anyone. But when I'm on stage, I mean, I'm there. I am that person, and it shines so much that it.
Maybe you should stop trying to, appease people and just be all out.
Well, that's what I do, and that's why no one likes me. That's why they just. And that's fine. But I did this audition and expecting, no way, because of, the way, I get gossiped about. I mean, it's so funny. I don't even think of these people, and I'm always on their minds. It's like unreal. It's quite exciting, actually. I had a girl say to me, and she's not even a friend. I've did one play with her. Okay, literally. She said, Henry, I'm really sorry to have to do this. It's not you, it's me. You're a really nice person, but look, I just can't be your friend anymore because my psychiatrist said that I really need to let go. You're taking up too much time in my head. We're not even friends, I was like, so I sent her an email back. I said, honey, that's totally fine. I respect that. So she comes straight back. Oh my God.
It's like a science fiction movie.
Da da da, and whoa.
That's a good plot for a movie, by the way. This woman who no one can stop thinking about.
Yeah, well, no, but it's irritating because it means that because I don't
Not
really
if
know.
you're the star of that movie, it won't be irritating.
Well, this is funny because I just got off the phone before you with Mark, and he said to me, he's been trying to help me with this breaking free to, my discipline is so shit. I want to do these things that will that will give me new neural pathways, because I understand that a lot of the time we don't have a choice. We're not making a choice to use or not use or act in a certain way because they're so entrenched, right? Biology wise. So, it's all about making new pathways, which is just repeat, 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 repeat. I just can't fucking do it. I mean, I can do it, but I don't want to do it because it's like I'm just too much in resistance, I suppose. It feels like I'm too lazy. It feels like I'm too tired. It feels like a million things.
Well, you want to read a new book?
I'd love to. I'd love to.
It's called The Gene Keys.
Genes, is this the one that you were telling me about before?
Yep.
Okay, gene as in, I'm assuming gene as in...
Gene.
E-E-N-E?
Gene.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, Gene
The
Keys.
Gene Keys. By, I think it's Richard Rudd.
Okay, and
it's
the one that you were like really raving about.
Yeah. And I'm still reading it.
Recently.
There are 64 Gene Keys, and I'm on 22 right now. I've been reading it for 2 months.
No way. That's sweet.
Yeah.
That's
and I actually had a call today with a friend. She was reading my personal hologenetic profile. Here's my...
Oh, wow. Now hold it up a bit. Hold it up, higher, 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 higher. Stop. Oh, wow. Look at that purpose. Ooh.
Yeah, now, if you want to go to the website, if you put your name and your birth date and place and the time of day,
I know it all. Yeah, I know it.
You can print this out, and then you can go to the book and look it up, and look up the keys, and it'll tell you what your profile is. Like, for example, your activation sequence. So basically, the bottom line in the Gene Keys is that we are born with software built into us.
Yeah.
And the higher you vibrate, the more of the codes are unlocked to you.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, because all cells have their own. It's like a cell is like its own.
Yeah, it's an incentive to vibrate higher.
Yeah, I love that. I think that sounds wonderful. So, I want to know, what does it mean? Because those patterns look very.
Some of these things, like, for example, my life's work.
Yeah.
My life's work is as the fixer.
Oh, well,
and the fixer disrupts current systems so that I can make them better.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. Like revolutionize.
My radiance, which is like the way I spread light in the world, is through marriage.
Oh,
The actual word marriage came up in the report.
Wow.
Yeah, look at this.
Life's work, line 5, fixer, evolution, power and projection, radiance, marriage, purpose, posture, fluids. What does that mean?
I don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
I didn't get to that.
But
I use revolution and rebellion as a way of breaking down the systems that I encounter so that I can rebuild them and fix them in a better way.
I don't smoke when the kids are around. This is only a cigarette, by the way.
Oh, it's okay.
Why am I even just justifying myself?
I don't know.
I feel like
I guess you think I'm fucking important, man.
It tells me that I'm really judgmental, and I already know that. I feel like you judge me because I'm judgmental.
No, you know what? You really want me to think highly of you, as if I didn't already.
I know that you think highly of me.
And you just slipped. You just thought you ought to say.
No, I am judgmental.
But
no, I'm just fucking mental.
Nobody thinks more highly of you than I do.
Oh, you're just so sweet. Mark thinks very highly of me.
I am the fucking top.
You're the fucking daddy.
I'm the fucking boss, man.
Boss.
I'm not the marriage half-assed.
No,
I'm the marriage boss.
Yeah.
That means there's nobody above me. Nobody.
No, I know. Mark's become your deputy. He's I did this chakra thing.
You did the chakra clearing?
Well, no, I did the chakra test to see which is open and which is closed. And my most open, obviously, throat, communication.
Yep.
And also, third eye and crown came close after that. My most closed, and as in minus, right, is hearts.
Wow.
And that's to do with all of the the hurt and not integrating all of the
Yeah,
pain.
but here's my question.
Yeah.
So having two beautiful boys and a man who adores you, and
Yeah.
people like me out here who adore you.
Yeah.
When do you, put those things ahead of any of the past hurt or any of the wounds or any of the scarring and say, okay, I'm going to focus on the love that is currently in my life, because
Yeah.
as far as I can see, your mother is not with you right now. She's not in the room. She does exist, but she's not there. And none of the things that happened, 20 years ago or 30 years ago are there anymore. But these things that are currently going on, like these boys
But I don't
running
think
around
it's just,
like little
not just,
light beams.
oh, maybe it is. I don't know.
But
I
whatever,
guess it,
whatever it is,
okay, well, I'll tell you. Like,
why
I'm
does the
gonna
current joy not weigh as much as the
I'm going to tell you.
past hurt?
Like you
And
said,
when does it catch up?
I'm going to tell you. Like you said, horses for courses, right? This might not be the right way for everybody, and I really appreciate you saying about concentrate on this and this and this. For me, I believe the book that you recommended, The Presence Process, that's because I believe it so strongly. Like I always believed from the age of 14 that I just don't age. At that point, I didn't like it because I wanted to get into pubs and get served, And I still don't believe that I age, and I don't seem to age very much. I mean, when I went to a makeup artist, they said, "I don't believe it. Your skin is like a teenager's." And I went, "What, spotty?" She was like, "No, like really, the elasticity that it's I've never come across anything like it. Do you really look after yourself?" And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, no."
But don't you think your thoughts have kept you younger?
Yes,
Your attitude, your behavior.
Completely.
Yeah.
Completely. And so what I'm saying is, and I believe with the same intensity, with the same truth, which is just, it's a given, that process of simply breathing and that integrates the emotional charge. And I think my problem is the emotional charge. I haven't integrated it into my psyche, so it's running me. And one of the reasons I know that's true is because it said if you're particularly got a lot of emotional charge that needs healing and integrating, you will find when you do these things, you will spontaneously go unconscious. And this happens every single time I do it. Every single time. I'm sat there and the next thing I know, I'm like, what? Wow. Damn it, I fell asleep.
Oh my God, that's unbelievable.
Happens all the time.
Wow.
Something less.
It's because you're a knockout.
It's what it is. So
you're a knockout. That's why.
It's just I just got to keep up with the discipline. That's my F word right now. So
you are not alone. Everybody in the world wants to do the same thing. We all want to be consistent at the things that we think are better for us. And
unfortunately, though, we are alone because we don't fucking realize that everyone wants the same thing. So we don't come together and do it, which is another reason I really wanted to step out there, because I was really scared to before, specifically because I've got children and I didn't want anything to kind of destroy that. But now I'm ready. I mean, I've spoken out about addiction and stuff, so now it's like, fuck it, I can do this. I can go out there and
the thing that I want you to know is that there are so many people who need to hear your story from you, and they need to hear
it from when it's not so good, to when I'm up there.
Anytime. They just need to see you, hear you, feel you like I do. Right now you're robbing the world of your gifts by not shouting from the rooftops in a bigger way.
It's what I'm doing. That's my next move, and it feels right. It feels that's what I'm supposed to be doing, and that's going to be like my when it comes to goals. That's going to be the section that belongs to higher purpose. and the section that belongs to, vocation and that kind of thing is going to be acting.
Oh, so before I forget, look up the Gene Keys on Google, and there's a website, and you can put your info in there and download this report for free.
Okay, I'll do that, and then
and then you got to get the book, and you got to look up the Gene Keys by number and see what they mean for you.
Sweet. Okay, no, I'm going to do that. I'm going to have to go now because poor Bear. He needs a bit of loving.
Thank you, Bear. Thanks for letting us hang out.
Thank you, Bear. Oh, he's so sweet.
Okay, buddy.
All right, I love you.
I love
Thank
you
you
too.
so much.
Talk to you
When's
soon.
it going to be ready?
Depends.
There's no rush. Whatever.
Oh, I want to get it up quicker than later. I would say no more than a week.
Okay, well, within that week, let's do a little bit of marketing. I'll put out a few nice posters, a few nice pictures and shit.
Okay.
All right. Hey, next podcast, la 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 la.
Okay.
All right, love you. Thank you so much for
you were great. Have a good night.
Oh, speak soon. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.